No?
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Clicken Bricken. There's my trouble in paradise, the Breakable Cow. How you doing?
Trouble in paradise. I could be the parrot on your shoulder. Caca.
Caw.
Moo. Hi, I'm doing okay. How are you, Cliffy?
I'm doing great. We had a heck of a week. Got the Lego room rearranged.
Mm-hmm.
That's all good. How have you been?
It's been a very long week. We even had power out for a very long time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But
And
everything's so back up and running. We go. Moo, everybody.
We got Panda. How you doing, Panda?
Moo.
We got Johnny Bill. How you doing?
Moo. Hey, you're new. I like you. Moo.
Then we got Mr. Blue.
Mr. Blue. Moo.
Bunny. We got RC. Hello.
Moo.
What's up, Mr. Seth Bland? How you doing?
Moo, Seffy. Hi.
What's up, MJ Bay? How you doing?
Moo.
Hey, well, look at there, Grandma Badger Bricks.
Hi,
Well, hello.
Moo.
And then we got Bunny Bricks.
Moo.
Buddy? Nope, not yet. All right. Well, Cal, guess what we got? We got a first segment, and we're going to go ahead and play the music. Hang on, we got to play the music. Where's that? There it is.
Okay, cow joke of the day. Well, cow's joke of the day, or however, is quite funny. It made me laugh a bit. What do you call an alligator detective?
What's that?
An investigator. Very, very cheesy. Very cheesy. Oh, one more. Okay. There are two muffins baking in the oven, okay? One muffin says to the other, "Phew, it's getting hot in here, or is it just me?" And the other muffin says, "Ah, a talking muffin."
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect. Damn, son, you just...
Oh, I got it twice.
You got it twice. Well, let's see, W Farms, how you doing?
Moo. Oh, hey, I
Scotty.
haven't seen you.
Haven't
Moo,
seen you in a
Scotty.
while.
Hi.
All right, well, we do have a special guest tonight, and this guy,
Fresh meat on the panel.
fresh meat on the panel. I think it's the first time he's been on Clicking and Breaking. He does live streams, I believe, on Thursday night and on Sundays. My time is like 10, 11 o'clock Central. I think it's 10 o'clock Central, around there. So anyway, we'll bring him up, and his name is Ben's Bricks Designs. How you doing?
Ooh.
Howdy, howdy. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing very well. How are you?
Doing okay. We had my wife's birthday last night, so we're up late and we're recovering. Otherwise, okay.
Good deal.
Nice. It's
So,
always nice to meet anyone again.
yes, chat. If you have any questions for this guy, just throw them in chat. We will ask them as long as they're good and nice questions. Let's not run the new people away. But we do invite questions, of course. Yeah, I was hoping you were all better by last weekend at Johnny Build. Yeah, well, Johnny Builds, I watched some of that. I was rooting for you, man. I think you're brave. I think he was a brave soul trying to do a world record on the Millennium Falcon UCS at a
Really?
mall, a show with people trying to talk to him. I would have to be in a building all by myself and the person there to hold the record, and I would not be talking. I have a radio playing just to have a rhythm in my
Earbuds
ear.
on. Yeah.
Wouldn't be able to talk
Crazy.
to anybody.
Very cool though.
But
That's
anyway,
like life and chance, yeah.
right. So man, what just kind of like I told you in the backstage, we kind of
We're gonna probe your brains with all the hard questions of the maths. Okay.
Bring it.
2 plus fish.
Equals
Before
pig.
we got our first question, from Seth Bland, he goes, "How does it feel to have the best goatee in the Lego community?"
Yeah, honestly, I think so.
I think the guys over on the bearded bricks channel, the various beards and bricks, probably will disagree with that, but I appreciate the compliment. I think I'm one shaved head away from joining Anthrax. I think that's where I'm going with this. It's Scott Ian, right? His is gray on the outside, mine's gray in the middle. So I mean, it could be like the negative version of him.
Yin and yang. Okay.
There you go.
Yin.
This just comes from being lazy about it. Like I usually would just have it kind of short, but it just keeps growing. It just doesn't stop growing. I've had conversations with it. It doesn't listen to me.
That's funny. Fat beard, fat.
So I'll ask the first question about the Lego. We're going to ask. We'll try not to get too no personal questions, guys. So make sure you keep it clean. But how long have you been into this Lego hobby that we all love?
Yeah. So this is the $1 million question for all AFOLs usually. My answer is I try to say my whole life, because there was a dark age when I was a teenager. And I think that came up more because of cost than anything. It wasn't that I felt I wasn't interested in it anymore, but I didn't have a whole lot of income to supplement it. The times when I wasn't buying Lego for myself, I still had all my Lego. It wasn't hidden anywhere. It was kind of, I had a big setup in the basement. And yes, I did live in my mom's basement for a time. So that's make the jokes. But we had a pool table, one of those pool tables that had a ping pong table on it. And I had a whole like Futron, Blacktron thing set up, and it lived there for a long time. So I will say my whole life, give or take a few years in the teenage times.
Nice. I'll put a link in the chat for his YouTube channel. If you haven't went over there and checked him out, please
Mike, since you just threw out this link, Ben, I know you're quite the builder and stuff. Do you have a way that you like to? Do you sell anything you build? I guess is my question.
Not especially. That's not my main program.
Yeah.
I have done a couple commissions for people, like design and build for them. And generally, like I said, and it's just been a couple. I'll usually tell them up front, if you want this designed, it's going to cost you X amount in bricks. Like you're going to have to order all the parts. So I'm willing to not charge for it. That's not my day job. I'm like, you're going to get sticker shock buying the bricks for it anyway. But I do also have a rebrickable site that I used to sell all my models on. And I do a lot of microfighters, and they're like 80 pieces, 100 pieces. So I don't charge for those. They're free. Go get one. The instructions. But the bigger models, I'll charge a little bit for the instructions. But it's generally like I don't do it as a source of income.
Okay. Okay, that makes
sense.
sense.
You got them on rebrickable, right? Correct. Some of your designs.
Yeah. So I try to do just the ones I've actually built up on rebrickable, but there are a handful that I've done digitally in studio and decided, yeah, that's pretty good. Put it up on rebrickable. And I've been smacked in the face a couple times with not having built it in real life. And somebody goes, this doesn't work. And I'm like, let me fix that. Let me find out what's wrong and I'll fix it. So words of the wise, if you're doing digital, always build it in real life too, to make sure it works.
Yeah, I could see that.
I did put the link to his rebrickable thing there in the chat as well. I have one question from somebody who asked me to ask you. And she asked me, how did it make you feel meeting her for the first time at Brick Rodeo in Houston?
Is this Haley?
Yeah, it is Haley Bricks.
It felt a little weird because I feel like we kind of knew each other a little bit from like online and stuff already. It was amazing to see her display, and I was really excited to see it all come together. And I'm hoping they'll be at Brick Rodeo in Austin this coming summer too. I know they're working on another Back to the Future display, so it'll be cool to see that come together.
Right.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right up her alley. She likes Back to the Future, so I'm sure she'll be there. What's up, Porter 66? How are you doing?
Moo.
So, we're speaking of the Stud.io. Y'all don't know, it's a programming download off of Brick. You can build stuff digitally.
Spit it out, Cliff.
I'm trying. And how did you get into starting that? I know on some of your themes, your streams, that you're working on Stud.io and building stuff. When did you start playing with that program?
I don't remember the year. It's been quite a few years. But the first time I got into it was because, and I tooled around a little with like LDD and MCAD and stuff like that. But that was more of just to see what it was all about. I really wasn't focused on working in it like regularly. It's just kind of like, oh, this looks like a kind of fun throwaway hobby kind of thing. But somebody gave me, and this is way after the fact, when the Star Wars Microfighter line released, my first reaction to it was, well, that's cute. I'm never going to get any of those. And then somebody got me a couple for like a birthday or something. And I was like, you know what? These are actually really cool. This is, to me, what Lego feels like it should be doing. It's small, it's affordable. You get a figure. It's very playable. It's still not custom pieced enough to where you can't rebuild it into something else. I was like, you know what? I've turned around on this whole thing. So I bought all the microfighters I could find, and then realized that there was a deficit in which ships they were doing from Star Wars. And I was like, well, I'll start making my own. And there was also one that you could only get from San Diego Comic-Con, and it was an early Slave One. And then there was a Sith Infiltrator. I was like, I'd really like to get a hold of those, but I don't want to pay $200 for them. The Slave One came in like a tin can with a figure, and it was very exclusive. And I was like, I just want the parts. Where can I just get the parts? So in my stumbling around looking for parts, I was like, well, I also need instructions. Where do I get the instructions? And Studio just kind of came up in conversation. So I was like, I could do a bunch of other designs for other ships in this software. That'd be a lot of fun. And that that sparked like several years, still going now, like 5, 6, 7, I don't even know how many years now. So now I spend almost every day at least a little bit in Studio doing something, making microfighters or doing designs for commissions for buildings, or working on stuff for like a convention build for our convention, or just throwing together even little instructional things like, hey, I think this is what you really want to do with these pieces. Here's an example kind of thing. So I'm in it a lot now.
Nice.
Very cool. I had a question leading into digital software. Do you play Lego 2K Drive?
I don't.
Oh, there.
The Lego games I've never really got into, other than like I played a lot of the Skywalker saga, and I played a little bit of the Marvel ones and the DC ones a little bit. But anything outside of that, like I didn't play 2K. I played like a handful of hours of Fortnite with my son. He's a big Fortnite fan, and he's like, "Dad, we need to play Lego Fortnite." I'm like, "I know." So I played a little bit of that, but never got into 2K.
Okay, so I asked because I figured out there's a way that it's kind of like Stud.io in a way. You can build your own cars, your own things, and make them drive, and a boat, you can. And so I started to put out there like a little challenge, especially to Jacob Neely, who likes to create things digitally as Batmobiles,
Yeah.
So I told him to get the game and create me a car. I will drive it. So that was what I was trying to throw to you, was like, can you create your micro as like a boat or like and drive that? That would be so mind blowing to see one of your micros in a game.
Yeah, if they could do that, is there a way to import stuff into 2K, or?
I don't exactly know yet.
Because I do
but
have a
that
couple
would be super
Batmobiles,
cool.
like microfighter Batmobiles. I've done a couple of those, so that'd be kind of fun.
When y'all started talking Stud.io, I was like, oh, I have to ask him about 2K because that's it's fun
All
stuff.
You asked Ben's favorite theme as a kid. Was it space?
Zissou should know better than this. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
we all thought so, but
Yeah. My favorite theme as a kid was Futron, because I did like classic space, but I was a little kid when classic space was out. So it was, I would get it, and I didn't have the mindset of I should hang on to all these pieces and make other things. It was like I put it together, it became something for my Transformers to destroy, and then like the pieces just got lost. They went everywhere because I was a little kid, and that you don't keep your toys, you destroy them. I did not have the foresight to save that or all my Star Wars action figures or anything like that, but when Futron came around, I was old enough to spend my own money on it. And so it became sort of like, well, now I'm going to take a little bit of care of this, and I can buy whichever ones I want. And it felt a little more personal and real. And I kept a lot. In fact, I think I kept all of those from when I was like 14, 15 years old. So yeah, if they ever brought a theme back, I would ask that it be Futron.
That's cool. Out of my time, that's for sure. I would love that.
Oh yeah, it's still quite a while ago for some people.
I'm going to scroll up here and see if I miss any questions from anybody. Guys, don't be afraid to ask some questions. I don't think he's going to bite your head off. Just maybe Zissou's. So, on past streams, and I know you've been building a bunch from Horizon, the game, right? And he's been building stuff for Horizon, and the last one I saw you working on is I don't even know what it's called. They kind of look like a lion.
Okay.
Did you ever get that finished?
So yes, I think so. I've got all but one from, and I need to go back and finish it up. I've got all but one of the machines And for those who don't know what Horizon Zero Dawn is, it's a PlayStation video game. It's third person. It's like post-apocalyptic. Your main character is very sort of primitive, tribal-ish, but their world is populated by these robotic animal analogs, right? Things that look like giant tigers, things that look like giant alligators, but they're these big robots. And so Lego put out a set, the Tall Neck, which is from the game, and a couple. This is another example of studio. A couple people did their own versions of other animals, and one of the designers, Hachiroku 24, who did the insects for ideas, built a Thunderjaw, which is a big like dinosaur version of one of the machines. And he had his instructions on YouTube. It was just him putting them together. And I went through frame by frame on that YouTube video and in studio recreated it. So I knew what pieces to buy.
Wow.
And then just uploaded it to Bricklink and built that because he was trying to keep it to scale with the actual Lego set.
Wow.
So, all right, now that I've got these two, now I have a good way to kind of scale everything. I can build all the rest of the machines and keep them roughly scale. So that's what I've spent the last like year or so doing is the rest of these machines. Now the first game is done. I've got to go back and do the second game plus all the DLC and stuff like that. I don't have to. Nobody's holding a gun to my head or anything. This is the compulsion where I'm like, nope, got to finish it. It's
yeah. Now I know Lego was done. Was it the long neck? What do they call it?
Tall neck. Yeah.
Tall neck. Do you think Lego will be doing any more?
No. In fact, we had this discussion on my stream this morning about them doing another Dune set. And I was like, you know what? I think because they are, especially like the Dune set where they're icons, the icons 18 and up, whatever sets, I don't think they're going to be doing more than one. And I think anything that comes from ideas, that's an IP, Optimus Prime, the Tall Neck, Voltron, that kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to do additional ones of those ever. So that's going to be it for Dune. That's going to be it for Horizon. That's going to be it for Voltron. I don't see them like doubling up on an IP like that. I just don't think that's in their. I don't think that's in their desire to not make money by doing that. Because you do a couple machines from this video game no one's played, and they're like, "Well, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to buy it."
Mm-hmm.
All right, Seth Blaine got a question. Do you have any other collections or hobbies?
I did before I got into Lego. No. So I actually did comic book art for a long time, and that was the two kind of hobbies growing up. Was when I wasn't working with Lego, I was doing art, watercolor, illustration, cartooning, stuff like that. But I never really found my footing with it. I tried some comic book stuff, went to a couple conventions, did a book, did my own book, tried to sell it at a convention, which is hard to do when you've already spent money to get the table at the convention, and then you're trying to charge people $5 a book, $4 a book, and that was a very humbling experience. And I never heard, you send your art to Marvel and DC and Image and all that, and after a while, I'm like, well, I'm never hearing from these guys, so I'll try to go for these other smaller companies, and I never heard from any of them. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just do my own thing. And then I had a couple kids, and I was like, you know what? I can't do the amount of work it would take to take care of these kids. So I'm just going to work this job that I've got instead. And the art just kind of fell by the wayside. To be a successful comic book artist, you literally have to draw like 10 hours a day. Just because you got to draw a page a day for a monthly comic book. And it can take you, 8 hours, 10 hours. So that's just time I didn't have. But I still kept up with it a little bit. Like I did some commission work and stuff like that. So I still have all my art supplies out in case anyone ever asks for like a quick little cartoon or something. I don't have any other collections of anything. I have nutcrackers. My kids have been giving me a nutcracker every year for the past 20 years. So now I have nutcrackers. Let me show you the latest one. So
Heck yeah, I love nutcrackers.
I am a Austin FC fan, our local MLS team here in Austin. And this is me as one of the supporter section. These are my loud green shoes that I wear all the time. There's my beard.
That's awesome.
We all wear these cuts. They're called the like punk battle vest kind of thing. So he's wearing a cut, and I can sew little patches on it and everything. Yeah, so
That's
they made this
awesome.
and they always put the date on it and everything. So I've got about 25 of these. That's my collection.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
While the chat is thinking about some more questions, let's go ahead and do our off the bricks segment. Give him a little break, and I'll play the music. We got to have music. Don't ask me why, but we got to have music. My computer work with me. There it is.
Why?
All right, whenever you're ready, Cal.
Okay. If it'll load, it'll just pop up, right?
Yeah, it'll pop up. There it is.
Do you see what I see? There it is. You see what this is? It's a big
What
old
does it say?
power. It's It's a driver robot. It basically makes big holes in the ground. It doesn't
Small
necessarily
power
just do
driver robot.
yeah. But just the robotics, the concept of it, just the mechanics they put into it, the thought. That's
Who's it
what I'm
from?
looking for. What?
Who is this post from? What's his name?
This is from Cat the Gunner. I don't know, something like that. Sorry
Okay.
if I butchered your name. Um, let's see. There's another picture. There it is, and it's like a robot. It moves, and there's some really cool pieces to it, like the binoculars here into the paint roller. Yeah.
Need a little fence post digger.
See, it drills holes in the ground. Yeah, basically like a big old post hole digger. Yeah.
There you go. We all need one of those.
Yeah. An automatic post hole digger. um, this is by Dan.ko56. He calls this
Oh,
the
that's nice.
Explorer. Yeah, it's
Did he
like a little happy Benny.
Are those studs or
You got
leaf
pumpkins.
pieces there at the bottom?
Those are leaves built up on each other, and he's got pumpkins for legs to show his big puffy pants.
Okay.
Very good part usage here. I mean, geez, I believe this is probably just sitting on here. I think this is a big one, 4 by whatever tile, and this honestly, his spacecraft or however is just standing on it. I think it kind of reminds me back into the age of uh, uh, Lego movie with the Friends doll thing that flew in the white spaceship looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great set too.
So we got that. Oh, wrong way. Honestly, I mean, looking back at it, you're like, dang, why didn't I get that? We got pancakes, and the blueberry pancakes, I should say, by Diego's Bricks. And just look at the blueberries there. Those are robber helmets, robber beanies.
Yeah, the
Okay.
As
They can put 'em back
blueberries.
to back. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what the orange peel is that, or not the peel itself, but the orange inside with the slices. I'm not exactly sure what that piece is.
those are
But that
trench
looks pretty cool.
squeeze wedges all
Yeah,
bound around each other.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see it now. Yep, they turned them to the
They're just-
side.
Yeah, they're just jammed in there.
Mhm. Ah, that's very good
cool.
detail. Wow, now it makes me hungry.
Now pancakes.
Yeah, now I'm thinking pancakes. And our last one is a little Brett, a little castle. This, Beyond the Brick TV showed this one, and I was like, dang, this is so cool. I want to show everybody.
That's a Lord of the Rings.
100,000 pieces, they say. It takes 100,000 pieces. You see how gigantic that thing is?
Oh, dang, yeah,
It's
that's nice.
crazy. It says they say it's built by Bricks Lord Lotter something. Designed by Stefano. Hmm. Very cool. Hey, look, that's from Block Smox. We know him. Yeah, this is so cool. I love this castle. Um, but yeah, so those are my dopey little finds off of the
Nice.
internet I found for you today.
Nice. That's too many
Yes,
Legos.
yes. Oh, my, my bad. I'm clicking buttons now.
Click
Oh,
away. So,
click, 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 click.
so you do go to shows? Do you just go to the Brick Rodeo, Ben?
Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't got to the point where I'm traveling to other conventions yet. I know that there's a few people in our lug who do. They go to Brick Slopes, the one up in Seattle, Bricks Cascade, I think. Um, I think a couple have gone to Brick World in Chicago. I just haven't got to the point where I would do that. I've gone to a couple Comic Cons out of state, but I'm now thinking also of a partner who isn't into Lego, and so it's hard to make the vacation something Lego related. It's like, well, we're going to this thing. Do you want to go? It's happens to be about the same time as this Lego convention. I mean, you could go to that if you wanted. I don't know, So that's kind of, we have to plan around that a little bit.
and I think you already answered, but Seth asked, "Are you in the lug?"
Yes, I'm in TexLug, Austin. There are 5 lugs. I feel bad saying this because I know there are places that don't have lugs at all. There are 5 lugs in Texas. There's Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and then we've got one called the Texas Brick Railroad, which is all train fans. So you can be a member. We got a couple of people who are members of both, like Austin or San Antonio or the train group. So they try to go to events when they can for each other's stuff. But yeah, I'm actually the ambassador to our group for the land.
Nice. Seth also asked, "Have you ever submitted something to Lego Ideas?"
I have. Want to see?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
I submitted this. This is when the birds were newly out. So This is
Wow.
my owl. This is my barn owl in flight.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like the stand was the same as like the birds stands. You can put the little thing on there. It's got its claws in the back there. Sorry, my other camera doesn't work really well right now. It's giving me fits. It's got Ninjago swords for the
Yeah.
wings.
Nice.
So yeah, so I submitted it, and I think I got like 400 votes. Lego Ideas is very much how well you market something. It's like 60% how well the build is, and a large majority of that is how well you market yourself and the build. You have to have like a nice video. You have to have a good way to get that noticed. You have to have a good social media presence and all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't matter if like you could have the best build out there, but if you don't get people interested in it, it doesn't matter. So
See, I think that's a shame too. I really do. I just think that's a shame.
yeah, I agree. There's some really great builds out there that are never going to see the light of day just because, and it'll bubble up. If it's good, it'll bubble up. But at the same time, you have to get it. You have to get people to look at it. So I'm glad for a little bit of the like other ways to get things out there, like Rebrickable or the Bricklink Designer Program, where you have other chances to do stuff like that. But yeah, so I might do another one in the future. I just haven't come up with, all my ideas are, oh, this old dude's coming up with an 80s something, nobody cares about that. But
So I got a question. With your if you don't want to tell us, I totally understand. But what is the process of doing that? Get in like other than the social media and the stuff you just said. But what's the process of just getting your build submitted? I mean, how long did it take to come up with your build it, and then the process of getting it in there to get voted on?
yeah. So the build itself didn't take all that long to do, and then I rebuilt it in studio so I could have some renders along with the built one. My thinking behind that was that I wasn't a good photographer, and I didn't have really the setup to have some really nice photos, but I could get a nice render and that would look nice. So I thought the two together would work well. Submitting it doesn't take that long to do. There's certain things you have to fill out. There's certain things you have to meet criteria for. It has to meet Lego values for the most part. So no sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of thing. There is a certain amount of IP that you can't really do. Like I know that was back in the day a little more stringent, but now everybody's submitting all kinds of different movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Back in the day, and an old man cries at clouds, you couldn't really do all that kind of stuff. You couldn't submit Star Wars, you couldn't submit Harry Potter kind of things.
That Jaws, they did this last time. Jaws,
yeah. So if it's stuff that they have to get a license for, they are a little more forgiving. If it's stuff they already have a license for, they probably won't do it. So what happens is you have your model, you have your several images, whatever you want to do. Then you have like your information and you basically just fill out a form and submit it. And it takes a little while to hear back. I would say, I'm trying to remember because this was 8 years ago probably, but it took a while to hear back. And then it was just to be approved to be listed on the Lego Ideas page. And then after that, you have, I think it was 6 months to meet milestones of votes. So you get to, you get the first 100 or you get the first 500 or something like that. It extends it another couple months. So every time you meet a milestone, it pushes it far out because they're like, we're not going to get you to get 10,000 votes in a month. It's going to take probably a year or two, depends. So then that'll get extended out and then you become part of the 10,000 vote club. And then once it hits that, it gets sent to the judging and the judges will look at it and say, yeah, this is a good one. We're going to actually use this one and we'll gather all these together and decide which ones. And then they have the big release where, these are the 3 that we're going to go with this time. So the process can take years. Like it has to go through a lot of cycles to get anything in front of the judging, anything built, anything redesigned, that kind of stuff. But to get it submitted initially, that doesn't take much. Just filling out a form.
Well, kudos to you for having the goal to do that. Yeah, I want to be able to. I don't feel comfortable with anything that I've built.
That's a lot. Yeah. How do you like? Okay, so with me, I take a lot of pride in what I build. So like, how do you vary that between like, am I doing good here or not on that?
It's
like
very humbling to kind of think I didn't get a whole lot of votes on this. So does it mean I'm not a good designer? Does it mean I'm not a good builder? I get that. I feel that a lot.
yeah.
It's at the end of the day, I'm doing this mostly because I enjoy doing it. I find myself puttering a little bit. Like when I retire, I'm not going to have. I hear a lot of retirees are like, I've got nothing to do. I've retired and now I'm just sitting around the house. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait till I've got nothing to do because I find myself just sorting, resorting, taking this thing apart, building this thing, making a spreadsheet about something, building something in studio. Like I can't wait till I've got nothing to do. So at the end of the day, I have to kind of check the ego a little bit and say, you know what? Not everybody liked that. I liked it. And I'm going to take the energy of feeling bad about that and do the next thing. So I'm constantly kind of rotating that kind of feeling because I'm an artist. I'm an artist who has artist sensibilities and I've got a fragile little ego. And it's really hard to hit that criticism where you're like, well, nobody loves me, so you just have to kind of keep rolling with it. If you like building and you like designing, just do that.
Well, from one artist to another, DZ asked, have you ever participated in build contests using a seed part? I've enjoyed following those in the past.
We do seed parts for our lug. We have monthly build contests, and we have the opportunity as being a recognized lug to have the ability to order some parts from Lego for being a lug, but also for our convention. And sometimes we'll pad those a little bit so we can have stuff for the lug to hand out during the course of the year. And those become seed parts. So we'll get like a bunch of astronauts, or we'll get a bunch of ducks, or we'll get, something. So every month we get little baggies together. We got one guy who does this. He gets baggies together for everybody, and then he hands them out. And then we come up with themes throughout the year and be like, all right, January's theme is doorways, and here's some doorways. And, February's theme is Valentine's Day. Here's a heart piece and a couple dishes or something, come up with something. So I usually wait till the last minute to build those. Like this week, I've got to come up with something for Saturday. But that's fun to do, is try to incorporate, even if you don't use the seed part, as long as you're using the theme and you kind of come up with something. It keeps your brain fresh. You can look at other people's ideas and get ideas from that. It keeps you on your toes.
Real quick, hey, Miss Ingrid, welcome to the stream. And hey, Cobra, how you doing?
Cow.
Now, when do you stream? What is your streaming schedule? I know you do one Thursday night and Sunday. I call mid morning, like 10 o'clock, right? Something like that.
You nailed it. Thursday at 8, Sunday at 10.
Are you Central Time? Is that Central Time?
I'm
What is that?
Time. Central Time.
Okay. Just because I'm Mountain Time, so I had to where am I?
Yeah, I used to be Mountain Time. Now I'm Central Time.
Now we're getting to the last quarter of the stream now, and this is where we put people on the spot. Now, I'm sorry, Ben. I'm gonna apologize to you now, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Myself?
Yeah.
Who are you?
We're giving you some time just to talk about yourself for a couple minutes. What would you want people that don't know you, that you want them to know? Basically, it's like.
Oh, well, I have a Venmo account. Let me give you the link to that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like you. Yes. Yes.
If you follow me on socials or on my channel, I talk about myself a lot, and I feel like that gets boring a little bit because I talk all the time. One of the reasons I feel like I don't have like what you guys do and what most people have on their channels is like kind of a panel of people. I just get on there and just talk because I'm a theater kid who likes to talk.
I have no problem with that. When I watch your stream, I enjoyed you carry on the conversation with everybody in the chat. You're me and Zizi was talking about it today in the backstage. We were talking, me and him both said, I don't know why people don't come, you get more people to come watch your stuff, because you talk to everybody and you join in the conversation as you're doing your computer thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't be able to concentrate on building something digitally and try to keep up a chat at the same time.
It's I don't consider it a skill, but I guess it is, because that's not the first time I've heard that, where they're like, I can't watch chat and do a thing. And I think it may be part of the sort of innate nature of just building, like your different halves of your brain. Like my left brain is doing all the building and my right brain is like, ooh, who's talking to me? So I don't generally have a problem with it, but again, I grew up doing art and theater and stuff like that, but also, I played soccer and a little bit of hockey and stuff. So, just kind of did a lot of stuff, not Renaissance man kind of material or anything, because I'm not terribly smart, but, did a lot of different things in my life. I think moving out of state to another state was a very formative experience. I don't really recommend it to anybody unless you have to, but don't knock it. If given the opportunity to move for a job or something like that, get a new setting for yourself, kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. You really learn who you are and what's important to you. So I think that helped a lot. Moving from Colorado to Texas. Everybody in Colorado.
Here?
Huh?
You were here? I'm in Colorado. That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I lived in the burbs of Denver, north of Denver.
Okay, all right. I'm way more north than that. So
Well, so like my family, my dad lives in Brighton, so
okay,
not really far north,
not
but
not too far from me. All right,
then I had, I
very
have
cool.
friends in like, um, well, now I can't even think of the stupid cities anymore. Right, just along 35 up north, like Broomfield and,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But I mean, I moved out 25 years ago, so it's all changed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I
it's
went to
grown.
college in Denver.
ZZ asked Ben, favorite Lego element.
Favorite Lego element right now. My favorite Lego element is this guy. It's the bar with the little 1x1
Yeah,
round plate. It's
like a
so
magnifying
useful.
almost.
Yeah, it's like a little magnifying glass. These are great for pew pews. These are great pew pews for very small ships. They're really good utilities because you've got a hole stud, you've got a bar you can clip onto. It's a stud holder on one side. It's very useful. They're great for joints. They're great for greebling. So currently, that's my favorite. It varies, but right now that's it. Mini
I'm
frying
using
pan.
that piece for a stick to have hot dogs on a stick. See,
There
so
you
it
go.
is useful.
Very perfect. They just had, so I just got done with the excuse me, the Dune Ornithopter, and it had red ones. And I was very excited.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh, there's red ones of my favorite piece. Very exciting.
Nice. All right, chat. We got about 15 minutes left. You better throw your questions in chat before we start winding this down.
I will say one thing while they're thinking of a question. Last night, yesterday was my wife's birthday. Well, today is my wife's birthday. Yesterday was the party, and we rented karaoke equipment to have in the backyard
Glad to hear that.
because I'm a huge karaoke fan. So I like singing. I'm not terribly good, but I'm okay. So yeah, we stayed up 1 or 2 in the morning doing karaoke. That was a lot of fun. So if you're ever in Austin, I'm going to try to take you out to my favorite bar, Canary Roost, where they do karaoke. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
We used to do that when we lived in Colorado. All the musical theater kids would go to bars and wait for karaoke night, and then we go in there and crush everybody, and they get mad at us for like you bringing in these ringers who can sing and everything.
Can't tell if they're having a conversation of their own or not.
I think they're having a conversation about Taylor Swift, which I don't know why anybody would want to talk about.
Yes. Oh, Cliffy, did you see that she's taking over Lego now? Somebody has made a fig of her.
Oh, that's just horrible. How horrible.
That's funny.
Here's his link again. Go subscribe to him. Dude, I'm telling you, if you hit one of the streams, you're not going to regret it. They talk about all kinds of stuff in there. Good stuff.
Do you have a favorite micro that you've built?
Ooh.
Yes, I do. I don't have access to it right now because everything's all bagged up. But my favorite is the Gunstar from Last Starfighter.
Okay.
I wish I could get an actual figure from it, from like Minifigs Me or Big Kid Bricks or whoever does like the custom minifigs. I think Firestar Toys does some too. I'm kind of out of that game, but so I've got like a kit bashed. It's like a Hoth helmet and then like some other shirt. But yeah, the actual Gunstar is one of my favorites. It doesn't hold together very well, so it's like semi swooshable. There's some bits underneath that are like held on by one. It's not even one stud. It's like a half pin holding on to like one underneath tube kind of thing. So it's very dodgy, but it looks great. I really like it.
As long as it looks good.
Huh?
As long as it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it's sitting on a table with 70 other micro machines, Jesus, there's my age, microfighters, and it's all Star Wars except for like this one little section's got like non-Star Wars stuff in it. And I can always tell who are going to be my new best friends because they gravitate to that and they go, oh, it's the Orville, it's the Gunstar, it's the ship from Red Dwarf. And I'm like, I like you. We should go hang out, you know. But then there's also the kid,
Very
like
cool.
this always floors me every time there's one kid who looks at like this random Knights of the Old Republic ship and goes, oh, that's the from that one thing. And I'm like, wow, kid, you got good parents. Right on, you know.
I'm going to tell you well.
Yeah. Here's my information. Get back to me. We're going to hang out and chat Star Wars.
We're going. Well, I want first most thank you, Ben, for coming on, hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
We still got about 10 minutes, but I do want to extend a thank you for accepting our invite, coming on. We've been trying to do this once a month, get different creators on and pick their brain and us get to know them better, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, you did a great job, and someone mentioned. I'll read that in a minute.
I'll read that one in a minute.
But it's been great. Like I said, I've set in a few of his streams, and I've watched them in lurking as I've been building or doing some in my Lego room. I tend to listen to them on Sunday mornings. I don't get to them on Thursday night because I'm on Hoosier stream usually.
Right.
But on Sunday
nights seem to be very popular among the Lego streamers. I've noticed that.
But Sunday morning, I always tune in. I always say something, good morning or yo, whatever. But I listen, and I think it's an interesting stream, especially when he does a stud.io.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I didn't need to learn how to do that. I think it'd be cool to design something.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know. He can just
have that brain, the concept of being able to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
I can barely do it myself, but that's why I was talking about Lego 2K was like, it kind of has that concept to it, but like, it's like Lego Worlds almost like, you can three-dimensionally build and play. But Stud.io,
he just does it gracefully. I mean, he just click there, click.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm looking forever for the part in the.
Well, and that's part of the getting used to it too. Is like once you're in it for a long time, you may not be exposed to every part that, and not even every part, but a lot of parts just from building or just from buying in bulk somewhere. You may not be exposed to a lot of parts that can help you build, but just thumbing through that list of parts in the software, you're like, I didn't even know. Like, I'm constantly surprised when they do updates. I'm like, I didn't know this part existed. I'm going to use this piece now. And then it's just very helpful. Also, designing digitally, two good things about it. One is it doesn't cost you anything. You can build whatever you want. And now you've got a nice thing that you've designed. And whether you build it in real life after that, that's up to you. But now you've done a thing, right? So that's good. The other thing is, like, if you're a streamer or you're somebody who does content, it's built-in content. It really is, because you can, like I've been doing for years now. It's like, I don't have a set to build, but we're going to jump in the studio and we're going to design a giant lizard robot, or we're going to do another little spaceship, or just something.
That's awesome.
That is cool. Yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. We got the comment of the night right here. Yes, we do. Panda. Someone mentioned Taylor. Must have been that Zizu Swiftenfuss. Yeah.
Swiftenfuss.
That's the comment of the night.
Zizu Swiftenfuss. That's funny.
I'm sorry. There is another question. It's from our good friend Zizu. Any plans for Horizon Dawn mocks? Number of builds emerge into a layout in the future?
Any end plans? The end plans are for them to stop making video games so I can stop making models. There's going to be a third game. and I don't know when because the second game ended very open-ended, very cliffhangery. So there's going to be a third game, and this is how much I love the game. I have already written like fanfic and plotted out. Like I think this is where it should go. Here's the machines you need. Here's the animals. Here's the characters. I got a whole thing, a couple of Google Docs full of like drawings and text and stuff. And I sent it to Guerrilla Studios, and I'm like, "Here's what you need to do." And then I forgot about it completely because they're not going to look. They'll probably do the third game in a couple years. I would guess that maybe by 2026 or 27, we might have the third installment of this game. In the meantime, I have all the first game machines are designed. Half of them are built, and I'm going to try to get them all built by Brick Rodeo and a big display. It's just like it's just Earth basically. So it's just random landscape and stuff for them all to sit on. But Brick Rodeo's theme this year is building vertically. So many mocks that we see at conventions take up a lot of floor space, big footprints, right? So the idea is to maybe just use that one base plate, but build it up, Plus it's visually pleasing from like standing back and looking, you can see more stuff, right?
That would be cool, yeah.
So my idea is to, instead of just a flat landscape, is to kind of raise it up a little bit as it goes back, and then have like mountains in the back that are kind of raised up a little bit. Nothing's going to be on them, but just kind of these peaks that kind of go up. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to be lucky to get just basic landscape done by July, but we'll see how it goes. And then after that, the second game, which some of the models will be easy retreads. I just have to tweak a few like laser packs or something on the models. And then both of them have DLCs that I have to do for those. So ideally, I want to get all the machines at least designed. I don't know if I'll get them all built and then wait for the third game. So again, built-in content for my brain for the next 5-6 years, right? I mean, Star Wars has plenty of ships to make little ships out of. This game is going to be doing monsters for a while. So it's just, you find that one thing that you're like, I can do this forever, and just roll with it,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I hate to bring this to an end. I really do. We've had such a great time with Ben tonight. But yeah, check him out on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central, or Sunday afternoon or mid-morning at 10 a.m. Central on Ben's Bricks Designs. And I'll put his link back in the chat one last time before we end it.
Appreciate that.
Go check him out. Go subscribe, follow him on Instagram. And do all that stuff. Yeah, it's been great. We do want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
Now go clean up work. Next Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I probably won't be doing anything then.
Cliffy wants to go watch his team lose.
I'm going to be watching. We're still going to stream. But we're going to have a hangout. So come. Everybody's welcome to hang out. But I'm going to be watching the game as we stream. So this is going to be a hangout stream. Have fun and all that good stuff. And you'll watch me get mad when my team's losing. It can be fun. It can be fun.
Y'all can watch me play 2K.
You can come and watch me get mad at the game. That's all good.
Ooh, can we have instead of a rant, can we have a segment where you rage and throw something at the TV?
Yeah, we can do that.
Perfect.
But you streaming Tuesday?
Yes, this Tuesday I will. Not next Tuesday though.
Okay. I'll be finishing up the Viking Village on Wednesday night, so come hang out and play and watch me tear that apart. And then Friday morning, coffee time on the Call Channel.
Woo! Coffee time.
Breaking coffee time. Cliff breaking
at the break of dawn.
That's right. And then Thursday night, Ben Brick Design, and Sunday at 10 a.m. Same thing. Guys, I can do Buc-ee's. Hey, Buc-ee's is awesome. Beaver Nuggets.
Zissou said, "Hey, you can take Ben some beaver nuggets for the next show. And I'm like, I can go to Buc-ee's, man. There's one like 5 miles from my house.
Heck
Anyway.
yeah, Buc-ee's are awesome.
Yeah.
The beaver nuggets are to die for.
There you go.
That's all good. But guys, until then, we will see y'all later.
In the
Y'all
next
until
one.
the next one. Be safe and have a good one. Thanks again, man. And where's the outro music? And bye-bye, everybody.
Moo. Moo.